Today I'm going to be breaking down the top 5 best super troops you can use here at Townhall 12 to 3-star any base. So the first army we are going to be taking a look at today is one of my personal favourites, and it's Super Bowlers. This is a great strategy to learn early on here at Townhall 12 because it's a strategy that can carry all the way through up to Townhall 17. It's incredibly powerful, and yeah, I don't really need to say too much more about it. Ignore the fact that the queen is upgrading on all of these screenshots. You will need a queen for these attacks, but let's jump in and we'll break this one down. So the first thing you're going to be doing with this attack is a Grand Warden walk. He is going to be used to help create that funnel. You'll see in this particular one we do bring in a wizard just to help speed along proceedings as well, because that hero hall does have quite a lot of hit points on it and we want to try and take it down as quickly as we possibly can. Now we do have healers, so if you're deploying down your Grand Warden onto a section of a base that he's going to be getting a lot of fire under, I would definitely recommend dropping down. You don't need to drop down all of your healers, but you can deploy a couple. You'll see in this particular one, as soon as our Grand Warden starts to be hit, we go ahead and we deploy down all 5 of our healers after we deploy our Cocoa Loon. That loon is going to be used to test for any seeking air mines. That is those black bombs that can come out and snipe off your healers in one shot. The funnel is fairly simple here though. You'll see our Grand Warden only had to create a little bit of a funnel at that top section, clearing out maybe 5 or 6 buildings. We're going to funnel on the opposite side with a baby dragon first, and then with our siege barracks and queen coming in behind. We're going to get a nice early rage spell coming on through after the ice golem goes out in front. That's just going to help to keep things alive for a good portion of the attack. Queen itself, of course, sometimes might walk off to the outside of the base, but in this particular case does end up walking onto the interior, which is not a problem for us. She can just combine with our Super Bowlers, who are getting a lovely amount of value through the core of this base. That first jump spell is going to be used to give you access into the first, 1 or 2 compartments, and then the main MVP on the back end, the one that's going to be opening up all the walls, is going to be your Barbarian King with, of course, the Earthquake boots on him. Now you can also go ahead and use a skeleton spell in this attack. You'll see that's exactly what we do here on the back end, and that is going to be used to help tank for single target infernos. If one of them locks onto your Super Bowlers, you only have 3 of them, so you're definitely going to be in a little bit of trouble. But in this particular one, we keep pretty much every single troop alive. We even swag a freeze spell and I believe our queen ability there on the back end. This strategy is very, very powerful, and this one, as well as all of the other strategies I'm going to be showing you today, are down in the description below if you would like to pick up the links for them. The next strategy we are going to be breaking down is Super Barch. So Super Archers in the blimp and Super Barbarians are coming through on the back end. This is a really fun strategy. This one definitely takes a little bit more skill to master, but it is very fun once you do master it. So let's jump in and we'll break it down. So the first thing you're of course going to want to do is push that blimp in as far as you can into a section of the base where you're going to be able to get maximum value. 9 times out of 10 this is going to be somewhere where you're going to be able to hopefully grab the town hall. We are going to be using a lava hound out in front. That not only is going to be able to tank for any seeking air mines, anything like that, but hopefully it's going to take some of the fire away from your blimp early on into the attack. First thing you're going to want to do when that blimp drops down is use an invisibility spell. Protecting those initial super archers is very, very important. You're then going to go ahead, clone up the rest of them and drop down the rage spell, ideally looking to take down the town hall as well as the root structures all around the town hall, which is exactly what we're able to do right there. You see, we completely take out the entire core section of the base, and yes, we have ended up using every single one of our spells, but as with some other strategies, it's going to be worth it because we have been able to secure so much value on the initial push of this base. Now when it comes to your heroes, they are definitely going to need to carry super hard, so look out for things like single target infernos, enemy clan castle troops, and enemy heroes. Ideally you're going to want to protect your heroes for as long as you possibly can, and of course you're going to want to pick the right pieces of equipment. Spiky ball, of course, very nice for the king alongside those earthquake boots, queen with the magic mirror and the healer puppet, and the Grand Warden coming in with the rage vial and tome. Continuing to push on through, What you're going to be doing in this particular one is using super wall breakers to open up sections of the base to allow your heroes in and then out on the back end. Super barbarians just going to be coming in to help create a little bit of a funnel on the outside of the base. We have already cleared out the core, so it's going to be kind of a donut attack. Your troops are going to be walking in a big circle around the base right here. You're going to want to deploy down headhunters like we saw right there, as and when you come into contact with enemy heroes. Multi-target infernos are not going to be a problem for you because you're going to open up all of those wall sections, of course, with your super wall breakers. Your heroes are then going to push through the back end of this one. We end up swagging a huge amount of super barbarians, should I say, here on the back end of this one. And honestly, this strategy is exceptionally fun to use. As long as you get the value from the super archers with the clone spells at the start, your heroes are going to carry really, really hard. And then you just sprinkle in those super barbarians around the outside to pick up very nice 3 stars. So the third attack we're going to be looking at today is going to be super dragons. This is definitely a lot of people's favorite strategy at Townhall 12 because it's more powerful than electro dragons. It's honestly far more reliable as well. You're going to be able to pick up a lot more 3 stars a lot more consistently than we do with electro dragons, which is why I tend to recommend this strategy over its counterpart. When it comes to the heroes themselves, we're actually going to be dropping the Barbarian King in favour of the Minion Prince. He himself combines very well with the Super Dragons. His abilities can carry very, very hard, and in your clan castle you're going to be bringing a Super Dragon as well after your Flame Flinger has got a nice little bit of a value. So let's jump in and we'll break down this strategy. First things first, like with pretty much any strategy you're going to be coming in with, you're going to want to create a little bit of a funnel. First things first, that is going to be testing for any Teslas, any skeleton traps, anything that could potentially snipe off your Flame Flinger. Once you have tested, you can then go ahead, get that Flame Flinger coming in, let it clear out one of these corner sections of the base. Honestly, just give it a nice amount of time. There is no rush with this attack because the Super Dragons themselves are exceptionally fast. They tear through bases really, really quickly, so just allow your Flame Flinger and whatever cleanup troops you have in behind time to get their value. Taking down the air defense here, ideally even looking to push in towards the Eagle Artillery in this particular attack, cleaning out this left hand side of the base makes life very, very simple for the rest of this attack. Next up, what we're going to be doing is coming in with our Archer Queen. She is going to be coming in with the Giant Arrow and Healer Puppet. 9 times out of 10, what you're looking to achieve with your Giant Arrow is a air sweeper. We don't end up actually catching one of them, unfortunately, here, or anything like air defenses. You know, air defenses are always going to be deadly towards any air attack, so getting value from your Giant Arrow always going to be beneficial. When you are using the Giant Arrow, it's definitely worth practicing, doing a few friendly challenges in your clan, even against yourself, just trying to line up the Giant Arrow to make sure you're, you know, a little bit more consistent at getting the value you need. But the Queen, she's going to be creating the funnel on one side. Of course, we already know the Flame Flinger is going to be creating that funnel on the opposite side. And then it's just as simple as spamming in those Super Dragons first. Balloons are going to be coming in behind. You then have your double air heroes with the Minion Prince and the Grand Warden. Grand Warden going to be coming in with the Eternal Tome as well as the Rage Vial. We're going to be using the Overgrowth spell on whatever portion of the base is heaviest. In this particular attack, it's going to be that Town Hall. It's going to be fighting back a little bit here in the back end. So we're just going to use that Overgrowth spell, allow our troops to go all the way around it, and then we can finish off with style here on the Town Hall, using the Rage spell to help protect our Queen. Actually, she's going to be cleaning out some of these outside buildings. We end up having 4 of our Super Dragons pushing in towards the Town Hall with all 3 of our heroes still alive. This one completely overkill, and we absolutely crush through this base. So our fourth strategy today is going to be using Super Wizards. They are going to be coming in combination with Yetis and Bat spells. This is another very spam based strategy. It's very, very simple to execute, and honestly, it's quite a lot of fun to do. I love seeing all the chain value you can get from those Super Wizards, so let's jump straight in and we'll break this one down. 9 times out of 10 on these strategies, you're going to be coming opposite Town Hall side. This is because you want your Siege Machine to get the maximum amount of value, whether that be the Blimp, whether that be the Wall Wrecker, the Log Launcher, anything like that. Yeah, this is pretty much what you're going to be looking for. Creating that funnel, very simple in this strategy. One Yeti and one super wizard in behind on each corner. Once they have taken down 1 or 2 buildings each, you're then going to go ahead and spam in the rest of your troops. This is a ice golem out in front first to tank for some of those initial defenses. You're then going to be coming in with the Yetis and the super wizards in behind. Very early with the earthquake spell, but that's because we want to weaken up these wall sections to allow our log launcher to break through them just a little bit quicker, because the log launcher itself sometimes can take too long to break through the wall sections, which can cause your troops to unfortunately walk around the outside of the base. Ideally though, you're looking for a good portion of your troops to go into the base here, which is exactly what's going to be happening with the rage gem on that Grand Warden. They are going to be able to get a lot of value. Now, when it comes to the rest of your attack, we have the bat wave. It's going to be coming in hopefully from a kind of opposite side of the base. In this particular one, we are going to be coming in from this bottom left hand side of the base, and the only thing we need to be careful with here is the wizard tower. Hopefully our troops are far enough away that no other air troops that are potentially in the vicinity are going to pull any red bombs. That then is going to allow these bats to just crush all the way through, and we're going to continuously freeze up any wizard towers, multi-target infernos, or even the town hall itself that could potentially cause damage to any of our remaining troops. But you'll see right there, we have a wizard tower as well as a multi-target inferno sitting right next to each other, which means our bats have absolutely no problem in crushing through the back end of this one. We even swag a free spell there on the back end, swag our Queen's ability. Yeah, this strategy is very strong. The good thing about it is, as soon as your troops go into the core, you don't really need to worry about them. You've already pretty much secured the town hall because there's so much firepower pushing on through. You can use that Grand Warden ability, of course, to help protect them. The only thing you then really need to focus on is freezing up those wizard towers and multi-target infernos so your bats can crush through the back end of the base. So of course it wouldn't be a full super troop video if we didn't include probably the most popular super troop in the game, beside maybe super wall breakers, and that is going to be super witches. This is still incredibly powerful at pretty much every single town hall after you unlock super witches, and it's very viable. Definitely one of my personal favorites, maybe behind super bowlers, because I just love to see them doing the triple bounds. But here we go. We're going to be doing things pretty much the exact same actually as the super bowler strategy, but the super witches themselves have a little bit more firepower than the super bowlers because of course they get those big boys coming on through. Hopping straight into it, we have that centralized town hall, so of course we want to make sure we create a very strong funnel here. We don't want our super witches to walk around, we want to maximize the amount of value we are getting. Initially we are going to be coming in with a fireball. Now this isn't something you necessarily need to do. You can come in with just a regular Grand Warden walk if you don't have the piece of fireball equipment available. However, if you do have it and you do have it maxed out, it is a fantastic resource here at Townhall 12 because, like you can see in this particular base, you can take down entire compartments. All we had to do was use one invisibility spell on one of the outside defenses, and then the fireball is going to target that middle defense and get a huge amount of splash damage. Creating the funnel after that is very simple. All you need to do is clean out the opposite compartment, kind of on the opposite side, and then all of your super witches and all of those big boys with any remaining heroes should push all the way through into the core of the base. Now, a couple of things to keep in mind is poison spell for those enemy clan castle troops. We definitely don't want to take too much damage from them. We're going to be using the earthquake spell in the core of the base. This not only is to help weaken some of those defenses, but it's just to allow our troops to potentially break through some of those walls slightly quicker. The Barbarian King ideally would combine with your super witches in the core, so when his ability goes off, which you can see it did here, the earthquake boots are going to open up all of the remaining compartments. However, our super witches decided they had a little bit of a mind of their own in this particular attack and they go walkabouts, but it's not a problem for us because we do still have our remaining heroes doing some very nice work here on the back end. We're going to be using an invisibility spell here just to protect up these super minions that did come out of our clan castle. The magic mirror just wearing off there on our own archer queen, but we do of course still have all of these super witches pushing around the outside of the base, going to be able to maximize the amount of value we get in this one. The only warning I would give you in this particular strategy, time can be an issue. So very much unlike super dragons, which are exceptionally quick, super witches themselves and the big boys can be notoriously slow. So as soon as you've got that fireball down and you've created the funnel on the opposite side, you're definitely going to want to get those super witches in just to maximize the amount of damage nice and early on, so you're not running out of time on the back end. But that does bring us to the end of this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I really am trying to do different stuff. You know, showing 5 different super troop armies isn't something I've done before. So let me know down in the comments if this is something you enjoyed, and I can definitely do it for some other town halls as well. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.